what we all saying. Fuck me, this is close on it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, yes, I know my hair's all over the fucking place. I don't care. Oh, fucking hell, it's too hot. Right, so how are we all? How is everybody? We all good? Yeah, not as if I actually care, but you know. How are we all? So yeah, just give it a minute. Let's try and see if I can actually rotate your phone. Oh, that's bollocks. This isn't even a phone, you dick. Right. How is everyone? We good? Yep, lovely, jubbly. Right, so for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Bobby Salazar, and I am, as per usual, your Nerdic Pro GM geezer person. Right, yes, I know my hair's all over the fucking place. Right, I don't really give a toss. But anyways, so I would quickly like to say before I get today started that in 2 weeks' time on episode 37 of Nerdic Pro Weekly, there is going to be an announcement coming to the podcast. If you can hear that, that's a car alarm. I do apologise. I've got the living room windows open. So yeah, in 2 weeks' time, Alexa, what will be the date in 14 days?
In 14 days will be Monday the 1st of August 2022.
Excuse me, right, so Monday, August 1st, 2022, that edition of Nerdic Pro Weekly, there will be an announcement coming towards the podcast, right? I'm not going to say what just yet, but there will be an announcement coming towards the Nerdic Pro podcast on the Monday, August 1st, edition of Nerdic Pro Weekly, which will also be episode 36, episode 37 of Nerdic Pro Weekly as well. So, today I'm going to be running down this past Saturday's, excuse me, hang on. This fucking car alarm's been going off for the past 20 fucking minutes, constantly. Jesus Christ. Doesn't really help when I'm fucking got my windows open and fucking trying to do a podcast, is it? Right, so, what was I saying? Right, so yeah, Monday the 1st of August, put that in your calendar, 8 PM UK time sharp. There will be an announcement coming to the Nerdic Pro podcast Monday, August 1st. Right, so in 2 weeks' time, there is going to be a very, very special announcement coming to the Nerdic Pro podcast. Right, nothing will be revealed. There will be no hints and no clues given to you guys until the 1st of August. So, today I'm going to be running down this fucking charger. Right. So today, Jesus, I'm going to be running down this past Saturday's edition of Falling Star Wrestling's Fight Night, which took place at the home of Falling Star Wrestling of the West Lynn Sports and Social Club. I need a hard back, not a soft back. Right. There we go. Put you back up there. Right, so match number 1 was the Dark Wolf, Matt Walters. Was awesome. Yes, it was, Kelly, wasn't it just? Right, so Dark Wolf versus PVC. Kelly, do you want to help review the show as well, or are you going to do your usual commenting malarkey? What the fuck was match number 2? Kelly, what was match number 2? What was match number 2? I've completely fucking forgot. Ah, Jesus. What was match number 2? I've completely fucking forgot now. Jesus. Comment. Lovely. What was match number 2? As I'm a bit of a Dinlow and forgot. Fuck. You know, I should really fucking do this beforehand. Adams and Miller won it, yeah. Bobby Adams versus Alex Miller. Oi, oi! What we saying, Craig? Alex Miller. 3, Jimmy Starr. Versus Furio. Interval. So we also had Jaden Scar. Jaden Scar versus the All-Pro Sean Stone, who was being accompanied by some twat from Essex. Right, so number 5 was... What the fuck was number 5? Oh yeah, Robbie Lewis. Sorry, I know I should fucking get all this sorted before the podcast. JJ Robbie, thank you. Versus JJ King. And then the main event was for the FSW Tag Team titles. Tag Team Championship. NLP versus Brett Semtex, who has previously appeared here on the Nerdic Pro podcast. And Big effing Joe. I don't know whether or not you lot can actually hear that car alarm, but it's been going off for like the past half an hour now. So yeah. So the matches were as followed. The Dark Wolf Matt Walters beating Patrick Vincent Crown, aka PVC. The Deadeye Bobby Adams in a losing effort to Alex Miller. Alex Miller beating Bobby Adams. Jimmy Starr versus Furio. Furio ended up picking up the victory. The next match was Jaden Scar versus the All-Pro Sean Stone. Jaden Scar ended up picking up the victory in that match. Very good friend of mine, Robbie Lewis, was in a losing effort to another very good friend of mine of Mr. JJ King. And the main event of this past Saturday's Falling Star Wrestling Fight Night was podcasting co-host here on the Nerdic Pro podcast, a man who will be making his return to the Nerdic Pro podcast this Thursday, of the Norfolk Legion of Pain, of Mitch Basher, and Crowley successfully defending the FSW Tag Team titles against former interviewee here on the Nerdic Pro podcast of Brett Semtex and member of the Deathmatch Outlaws of Big Effin' Joe. Now, to everybody watching at the minute, I had said at the start of this podcast, on the Monday, the 1st of August edition of Nerdic Pro Weekly, that is episode 37 of Nerdic Pro Weekly, so in 2 weeks' time, there will be a very big announcement coming to the Nerdic Pro podcast, right? I'm not going to say just yet what it is, but in 2 weeks' time, Monday, August 1st, 2022, there's going to be a big announcement coming to the Nerdic Pro podcast in 14 days' time. Put that date in your calendar. Episode 37 of Nerdic Pro Weekly, Monday, August 1st, 8 p.m. sharp. Right, so, a bit of a rundown of the show. The opening match was former Falling Star Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the Dark Wolf, Matt Walters, in a victorious effort against one half of the Disaster Artists and one half of rival Nerdic Pro podcast and rival podcasting co-host of Patrick Vincent Crown PVC. This match was just your stereotypical opener. But the thing that gets me with the Dark Wolf now is I've noticed this pretty much since we came back from COVID, this side of lockdowns and all that, that he's been in a lot of openers since like this side of lockdowns and all that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, he's a former Falling Star Wrestling champion. He's perhaps one of the best wrestlers that Falling Star have ever had. And he's getting put in the opener after opener after opener. I get that his promos that he does saying that he's the coolest, the best, the greatest, and the sexiest Falling Star Wrestling champion in FSW history, right? That will get the crowd going, right? But the thing that gets me is the fact on how he's one of the longest reigning, if not the longest reigning, Falling Star champion in history, right? And I cannot deny that he is the best Falling Star champion in Falling Star history, right? Yeah, like, I don't see why he's getting put in the opener constantly, right? Obviously, I'm not booking the show, I'm not booking the matches, so presuming there's some stuff backstage on why he needs to be in the opener, right? I couldn't even know nor care, right? So yeah, Jaden won by DQ. Sam Wakefield got involved. Is that his name, Kelly? Sam Wakefield, the Essex twat. Fair enough. I've been chatting to Manson today. Yeah, I spoke to him last night and thanked him for popping by for the seminar. I feel it helped me so much. Clicked. He's a fantastic guy out the ring too. Yes, Madman Manson. I myself met him a couple of years ago, a good few years ago now. At Falling Star Wrestling, so like, this isn't the first time he's been at Falling Star. And yeah, great bloke. So yeah, like the thing that gets me is, obviously he's Irish, right? And there ain't really that many big name Irish wrestlers in the business today still. You've obviously got Finlay and Sheamus off the top of my head. Yeah, so someone like Madman Manson, he's been in the business a long fucking time, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so unfortunately I couldn't be at the seminar. So yeah, like that was a pretty fucking gutted moment, do you know what I mean? But yeah, like he is a fucking really down to earth bloke. Somebody Wakefield, he has two other names as well. Yeah, same. He did the MC. Yes, yeah. I want to say 2018, 2019, when the Mullet Man, Jason Santiago, was away. And yeah, so we found a Sheamus figure in a box of toys today. Nice! I fucking love Sheamus. Great fucking wrestler. So yeah, I'm just putting the camera down just so I can have a drink. But yeah, I remember when David Miles and George Rashwood with the after party. I remember him doing the MC for a show then, and we had a thing going where we were calling Miles like a Keith Lemon fucking Keith Lemon wannabe, and Manson was down in the ring, started laughing at it, And and then he pulled me up after the show to comment on it, and so they should have really gone to that. A huge brawl that happened between all of us was quality. Keith Lemon, good times. Yeah, I was going to say like the good times era of Falling Star, like the after party era of Falling Star, were good times. Do you know what I mean? Like they were legit good times. Looking warm. Adam, no shit, Sherlock. So yeah, I attacked everyone. I don't discriminate. What was this like a legitimate scrap that happened? Which there are plenty. Alright. Yeah, hang on. What was this like a legitimate fight that happened, Craig? What the fuck? Hello, Tracy. How are we? Long time no see. So yeah, Madman Manson. Yeah, had the privilege of meeting him and getting laughed at by him on multiple occasions. So yeah, Reggie. Oh, right, okay. So it wasn't like a legitimate thing. Oh, right, okay. Excuse me. Oh, I thought you meant that like there was like an actual scrap that happened. I thought, holy shit. So Billy seems to really have it in for Robbie, lol. Reggie went in on everyone. Part of the training. It was Manson's seminar, major brawling ring was epic. Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. Right, so the next match that transpired this past Saturday was representative of the Falling Star Wrestling Academy of Alex Miller beating member of the Sound of Deadeye Bobby Adams. Now, Kelly, I remember saying this to you the other day, that when Adams first started out in Fallen Star a few years ago, right, his in-ring presence was, to put it politely, pretty shit, right? And he wasn't really a crowd going, like he didn't really get the crowd going as much as the other heels in Falling Star. Excuse me. So I'm actually missing Rashwood being there. Yes, so am I. Hang on, can I like your comment there, Craig? No, I can't. I was going to like that comment. Right, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so when Adams first started out in Fallen Star a few years ago, I felt that his in-ring presence and his crowd interactions wasn't good, to say the least. And I know that Ed or Bobby Adams regularly watches his podcast, regularly watches the Nerdic Pro, but yeah, I think now he's like, compared to the Bobby Adams of 2022 to the Bobby Adams of like 2018, right? They're two different people, do you know what I mean? Right? The Bobby Adams of today is a certain more of an improved Bobby Adams from 4 years ago, do you know what I mean? Definitely by far. If he would have been there on Saturday night, that would have been a complete all-star lineup. Yes, it would. Definitely. Having Rashwood at ringside with Adams, especially when the NLP came out. So Bobby Adams, he was on the verge of picking up the victory until Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria had started playing, courtesy of Ollie Cole. The NLP came out of the Psycho from the Swamp Crowley and Nerdic Pro podcast co-podcaster of Mitch Basher had come out challenging the Sound of Deadeye Bobby Adams and the Greasy Tosspot of George Rashwood to a tag team title match when Falling Star Wrestling are back at the Westland Sports Community Social Club next month. I don't know when that show is, but I know that there is a show at Outwell on the 6th of August. More on that later. So the NLP had come out during this match, distracted Bobby Adams, to give Alex Miller the opportunity to give Bobby Adams the roll-up pin for the victory. And then Mitch Basher had got on the mic and challenged the Sound on Bobby Adams' behalf for the Falling Star Wrestling Tag Team titles, to give the Sound an opportunity at the FSW Tag Team titles when Falling Star are next back at the Westland Sports Community next month. I will share, I or someone will put something on Facebook here on the Nerdic Pro Podcast Facebook page, giving more details on that show. So, match number 3, we saw one half of the Disaster Artists and Falling Star Wrestling podcast co-host, a man who I've done a couple podcasts with, of Jimmy Starr, the owner of Falling Star Wrestling, against the Kung Fu Vampire Furio. Isn't it Outwell next time? Yes, it's the 6th, I believe. Outwell is, I believe, on the 6th of August. Alexa, what day will the 6th of August fall on?
The 6th of August 2022 falls on a Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, so the 6th, Craig. The Falling Star Wrestling's next show is at Outwell. Like they were saying when they were next back at West Lynn that they were going to have the tag team title match. I don't know whether or not that was a botch in the promo, and they meant to say Outwell, but so Saturday 6th, day before my B-Day. Kelly, you shouldn't have told us that, because now whoever the fuck's doing the MC that day, right, we are going to get them to do the happy birthday thing. So yeah, I'll make sure to bring a card, a 50th card. So yeah, a 50th birthday card for you, Kelly. Damn it! Why damn it? Oh, don't tell me you ain't gonna be there, Craig. Pissed on my file, that Jesus. Right, pissed off 47, lol. I love you really, Kelly, don't worry. Oh, bloody hell. Can't go. Oh, you dick, why not? You will be missed. Oh, Jesus. Can't make it home. Bollocks. Hey, baby, what you say, Sophie? How are we? How are things? So yeah, match number 3, Jimmy Starr versus the Kung Fu Vampire Furio. Right. Swanson Morley back in, I believe it was November, right? You got to buy me a Coke. I bought you a Coke on Saturday, you cheeky fucker. Tell you what, I'll get you a card and then bring you a bottle of Lambrini or something, yeah? So, do you drink Lambrini? I don't. It tastes like absolute, like, sheep's piss, but, you know, we shall live. Archie, mate, he goes back to West Lynn. Excuse me, fucking hell, excuse me. Right, so yeah, November, Swan Morley back in November, I wasn't there, right? However, Furio spoke. He did the same at the last Falling Star Wrestling Fight Night, as well, at the last Falling Star Fight Night, he only said more, right? Whereas this past Saturday, he gave a whole promo, right? This past November at Swanson Morley was not the first time Furio had actually spoken, right? Back in early 2016, late 2015, early 2016, right? Back to when the FSW Limitless Championship first got announced, right? It was originally the match that was originally supposed to be for the Limitless Championship was supposed to be Furio versus Ashley Stark, right? At Linsport, at Fight for Glory, back in April of 2016, right? However, that ended up getting changed to a triple threat match to Furio, Ashley Stark, and the now assistant to the NXT UK general manager of Johnny Saint of Savvy Sid Scala, right? Then it got changed to a whole Battle Royal thing, right? And then the final two wrestlers would then face off later on that night, right? Which ended up being Furio and Sid Scala, right? So, my point is that at West Lynn, I believe in January of 2016, when the Limitless Championship first got brought out, first got announced as an official championship in FSW, Ashley Stark came down, said something about the Limitless Jimmy Stark came out, announced the Limitless title. Ashley Stark came out, and then out came Furio, right? And then Furio then gave a promo saying that if anyone, I believe it was, if anyone deserves to be the new to be the champion of this new championship that's being brought into FSW, then it should be him, right? This was, I believe, the first time Furio had actually spoken, right? This was when he first spoke, not back in November of Swan and Morley. So yeah, I've got a good memory, I have, because there's a thing on the Falling Star Wrestling YouTube page, right, of this match, right? The promos weren't included, right, in this said video on YouTube, right? And you can see a little. How old was I then? I want to say I was 11 at the time. A little 11-year-old me sat right in front of the bar, right, with my dad. I was in a yellow t-shirt. Why I'm telling you like this, I don't know, right? The match was between Furio and Ashley Stark. And yeah, so Furio spoke to normally it's like he broke character. Yeah, Sophie, I noticed that, right? The fact on how he was speaking normally in yellow, watch today, yup. Yes, that was me, Kelly. Yeah, this was early 2016, so 6.5 years ago. 10.5 years. Yeah, so yeah. I was a little dweeb back then, to say the least. So yeah, and then there was also a match between Matt and Kenny Mack, Matt Walters and Kenny Mack. I think Jimmy and Kenny Mack had a match. I think between the Matt Walters and Kenny Mack match, Jimmy refereed that match because he was in the middle of a feud with Matt Walters at the time. Yada yada yada. Jimmy twats both Kenny Mack and Matt Walters with a chair, and then Falling Star Wrestling returned to West Lynn on, I remember the date, on March the 26th, 2016. I remember that day very well. For undisclosed reasons. And yeah, so yeah, and then in between those two shows was in Swaffham at the Nicholas Hammond Academy, yada yada yada. Championship got revealed, yada yada yada. Just a big dweeb now. Right, so yeah. What we saying then, peoples? To reference what Sophie was just saying, still curious about this. His in-ring name was David Miles, and his actual name is, his actual surname is, I believe, Mashford. And yeah, so probably the only one I have ever seen in blue and yellow. Yes, he did wear blue and yellow. To be fair, I remember seeing him, like, Craig, was this before your time? I want to say one of the first shows back, this side of lockdowns and all that. He came for a couple of shows, but not wrestling. Like, he came just as, like, someone just being there. So, yeah. OMG, what a guy. Loved him in Comedy Gold. Yeah, so, Ukraine, man. Fuck. Yeah, way before my time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So yeah, I was going to say, I remember chatting to him and Nathan Shaw on one of the first shows back. Obviously not seeing each other for well over a fucking year, do you know what I mean? And then being like, aye, and yeah, so I don't know what the fuck that was, but yeah, still outside wrestling with him and Nathan Shaw, catching up, and yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say, I think I've got a couple, like, what's the word, archive videos somewhere. Yeah, like I think there are a few videos on YouTube as well, Greg. So yeah, of them. But yeah, this match was won by the Kung Fu Vampire Furio. Yeah, so to rate the first half, I would rate, well, out of 5, I would rate the Dark Wolf versus PVC 2 out of 5. Excuse me. Fucking hell. 2 out of 5. Adams versus Alex Miller, again, 2 out of 5. Jimmy Star versus Furio, 1.75 out of 5. So to rate the first half of July's fight night with FSW, the Dark Wolf Matt Walters versus PVC, 2 out of 5. Adams versus Miller, 2 out of 5. Jimmy Star versus Furio, 1.75 out of 5. So moving on to Jaden Scar versus the All-Pro Sean Stone with the Essex Freak of Sam Wakefield. Still ain't got a clue who the fuck he is, but okay. So yeah, from what I've been told by people, that's harsh. What's harsh? What is harsh? Oh fucking hell, I'm dripping now. Fucking hell. So yeah, where the fuck was I? Right, yeah. So Jaden Scar versus the All-Pro Sean Stone in a match with Sam Wakefield. From what I can gather, Sam Wakefield is now the new manager of Sean Stone, and I believe he runs his own podcast as well. Presuming it's a wrestling podcast. You're scoring. Yeah. So yeah, presuming it's a wrestling podcast he does. If not, then Sam, if you're watching, I do apologise. So yeah, Jaden Scar walked away with the victory in this match. So yeah, do you remember Kaya? Yes, pink hair lady. Yes, I do. Harriet, I do remember her very, very well. Very, very nice woman she was. So yeah, very, very good woman. I remember training with her quite a few times actually when they were doing the Sunday crap at where the fuck were they doing it? KLA, Kings Lynn Academy. So yeah. So the All-Pro Sean Stone was in a losing effort to the unstoppable Jaden Scar. I think this match deserves a 2 out of 5 stars. So yeah, Robbie Lewis versus JJ King. Two very good friends of mine, of JJ King, and the man from Wolverhampton of Robbie Lewis. It was JJ King that walked away victorious. Personally, I'm going to rate this again 1.75 stars out of 5. As I believe the ending was a bit near, like the pin that JJ had to actually pin Robbie to pick up the victory. The ref was a bit confused with what was supposed to happen and all that, and I don't really know what happened with this pin, because from what I saw from where I was that the ref came down for the count to count the pin, and got to 2, and then I think the ref thought that Robbie was meant to kick out or something else was supposed to happen. They went for the 3 count, and then it kind of looked like everyone in the ring just kind of looked like something somewhere had fucked up. So yeah, you're gonna be watching Raw. First time it's been. Yes, I completely forgot about that. That is something I will be mentioning today on this podcast, Craig. So yeah, as that is one of the topics. So yeah. So like I didn't really get what was meant to be happening in this match, like with this pin. So yeah, gotta give it a chance. What do you mean? Give what a chance? What? Hang on. So yeah, it kind of looked like people in the ring kind of looking at each other thinking that something had fucked up. So yeah, somewhere. So yeah, but I remember saying this when I was on when I appeared on the Falling Star Wrestling podcast. That was released on the 25th of January. Right, so the episode of the Falling Star podcast that I appeared on, which was the review of the New Year New Spear show, which was released on the 25th of January. Right, this was an Academy Showcase match. Right, Robbie Lewis versus JJ King. Right, and I said this to Shawnee of PVC and Jimmy Starr. Right, that I personally think that the more Academy, well, the more time and the more in-ring time you actually give the people in the Academy, then the more confidence it's actually going to give them to want to continue doing the training, whether it be the stuff at Lynsport of a Wednesday night, or whether it be the in-ring stuff before a show, right? So yeah, like, I personally do think it's a good idea having academy matches, right? Because when people start off in the academy, right, they might be a bit like tucking themselves away, because they might be a bit sort of, what's the word, scared, if you know what I mean, right? I ain't saying that the newbies in wrestling academies are pussies, right? I ain't saying that Robbie Lewis and JJ King are pussies. I ain't saying that Sean Stone or Joey Garcia or Alex Miller or anyone else are a bunch of pussies, right? What I'm saying is, and I ain't saying that none of them ain't confident, and Craig, like yourself, right? I ain't saying that you're a pussy. What I'm saying is that the more in-ring time, and the more time that you guys actually get, and the rest of the academy guys actually get, right, then the more it's going to boost the confidence of the FSW Academy, do you know what I mean? To want to continue doing the training sessions at Lynsport of a Wednesday night, and the in-ring stuff before a show, do you know what I mean? So yeah, and it's going to help boost the confidence of the FSW Academy trainees. So yeah, which is why I believe that this match was something that was going to happen, do you know what I mean? Right, because, as I've said, right, it helps advertise the FSW Academy, right? Lynsport, Wednesday nights, 7 till 9, right? It helps advertise the FSW Academy, and it helps give the Academy guys the in-ring time that they pretty much deserve, right? And it helps them boost their confidence in the ring, etc. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so moving on to the main event. What a main event this was. Fucking hell. Excuse me, what a main event this was. Oh my god, right? I personally will be rating this 4.5 stars out of 5, right? As I would have personally much preferred for it to be a legitimate, actual, hardcore match, right? So yeah, this match between for the Falling Star Wrestling Tag Team Championships, between the reigning and defending champions of the Psycho from the Swamp, Crowley, and Nerdic Pro podcasting co-host of Mitch Basher of the Norfolk Legion of Pain, the NLP, versus Brett Semtex and Big fucking Joe, right? This match was fucking incredible, right? To anybody watching this podcast, either now or afterwards, who was there this past Saturday, right, will agree that this match was fucking epic, right? I've got a video on my tablet that I recorded on Saturday, that I will be releasing here on the Nerdic Pro Podcast Facebook page, either immediately after this live stream or at some point tomorrow. This match, I believe, was the best Falling Star Wrestling match in some time. Credit, this has only been my second show back in fucking ages. But yeah, this match between the NLP and Brett Semtex and Big fucking Joe for the FSW Tag Team titles, I believe was a very, very good match. Crowley and Mitch Basher of the NLP came out victorious after, I believe it was Crowley, used Joe's cowbell on the head of Brett Semtex. Mitch Basher then got the pin on Brett. 1, 2, 3. The NLP remain your FSW Tag Team Champions. Now, this was a very, very good show with Falling Star Wrestling, right? And the baby straw wanted to mention, oh, fucking hell yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yes, Joe, big fucking Joe had gone outside, right? And got a pram, right? From outside, brought it in, and then twatted Mitch Basher round the end with this pusher, right? And I've got that on video actually, Craig. Right, I've got that on video. So yeah, I'll upload this video either immediately after this live stream or at some point tomorrow. And yeah, so yeah, like this was a very, very, very good way to end off the evening with FSW. So yeah, it was excellent. Yes, it was excellent. Yeah, fucking incredible. So yeah, it's just how he randomly fucks off and comes back with a big baby stroller. Yeah, I was gonna say, you look at the stuff that Joe does, right? Not just obviously what he's done in FSW, right? But you look at the stuff that he does over in the States for KCW and up north for Rise. Right, in Middlesbrough and in Leeds and wherever the fuck else, right? In all the death matches that he's done, right? It's like, oh my god, right? He was in a match on Sunday, so yesterday, right? I see a video of it on Facebook about 20 minutes before I started this podcast of him with, I want to say about 8 light tubes. All like taped together, like 8 to 10 light tubes, all like taped together, and he just smacks them all on this bald bloke's head, and it's like, oh my fucking god, you can't not cringe it, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so right, for those of you who don't know who we're on about, right, YouTube, hang on, what would be the best thing to... Right, so YouTube, Rise Underground Pro Wrestling, right? And then do Big Joe. Hang on. Rise... I'm sweating like Jimmy Savile at a school assembly. Rise Underground Pro Wrestling. Big Joe. Yeah, Big Joe. So yeah, put Rise. Well, yeah. So yeah, Craig just put in the comments. Rise Big Effing Joe. And then you'll see the mental shit that he's done. So you've got the videos that I've currently got up. You've got Big Effing Joe versus Danny Darko in a death match. I've seen that. I believe that was for the Rise Hardcore title. Full last man standing match. Big Effing Joe versus Saxon Huxley. A man who's previously appeared on NXT UK. Lou Nixon versus Big Effing Joe. Bill Eva. Is he got any relation to the pastor, William Eva? Casanova Valentine versus Big Effing Joe and Rise. That was some fight. Fucking hell. So yeah, just bearing in mind these videos are not for children when it comes to the wrestling side of things, right? Just putting it out there now, right? That they are not for children. Big Joe is a great guy. I didn't take my phone, so I didn't get pics. Billy was gutted, although he did get on Joe's Instagram story. So text Joe, he's sending Billy pic and post. Oh, that's nice of him. Rise, Big F and Joe, Deathmatch Outlaws, Big F and Joe on YouTube. I just might watch some more Big F and Joe tonight, along with Raw. So yeah, before I get on to mentioning Monday Night Raw and my thoughts about Monday Night Raw going back to PG-14, Falling Star Wrestling's next event is on Saturday the 6th of August, 2022 in the Outwell Village Hall in Outwell. And yeah, if you're coming in from Kings Lynn, right, go up to the Elm Hall roundabout and then swing a left and then you're pretty much there. Just saying. So yeah, he loves Joe. Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a picture of me and Joe about 4 years back in Holt of him strangling me. I'm going to have to put it on the podcast Facebook page now. This picture that I got with him was about 4 years ago in Holt. And yeah, so I don't think it'll make much of a difference. It's the script writers, WWE needs to lose. Yeah, but yeah, so August the 6th, 2022 in Outwell, right? Be there, or be sorry. So yeah, in terms of Monday Night Raw, right? I didn't see this coming, right? Didn't see it coming whatsoever when it comes to changing Monday Night Raw to a PG-14 compared to its PG or whatever it was, 13, right? So this was pretty much nearly to the day in 2008. I believe it was the 22nd of June and 22nd of July even 2008 when the first like PG-13 thing came into place for WWE, right? This pretty much introduced the end of WWE's ruthless aggression era, right? And this was when a lot of WWE's popularity then began to sink, right? As a lot of people that I know who were watching WWE at the time had lost a lot of interest in WWE and in wrestling at the time, right? However, what a time for Cody Rhodes to be out injured. That's all I'm going to say, right? What a time for him to be out injured, because Cody Rhodes, he's made, since he got released from WWE back in 2016, right, he pretty much made a name for himself in companies like Ring of Honor and New Japan and AEW and in What Culture and in Global Force and all that, right? And yeah, so with, like, you look at the match he had against Dustin Rhodes back at Double or Nothing in 2019, right? The instant classic that they had, right? Excuse me, Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Goldust, right? The instant classic that they had, blood all over the place, right? And I think now this is where a bit of fantasy booking, this is where the fantasy booking side of me comes in, right? Did WWE bring Cody back because they were already talking about moving the WWE product back to a PG-14 did they bring Cody back because they were in talks of actually having the WWE move back to a PG-14 product? Or was it just a coincidence that they brought Cody back a couple of months beforehand? A couple of months before they were actually going to move to a PG-14 product, right? Did they bring Cody back specifically because they were thinking about moving to PG-14? Or was it just a coincidence that they brought him back just as they were about to go to PG-14, right? Desperation moves. Yeah, I was going to say, like, Cody, he was losing a lot of respect from the AEW, like, hardcore fan base. Like, he was losing a lot of respect. Like, you look at when he was TNT champion earlier on this year, right? I'd never seen him get booed so much, and the fact that, like, how he even bought out a shirt and some merch saying heel or face or whatever it was, so if they couldn't have Stone Cold full time, they would try and go for second best. Yeah, exactly. So that's Cody, I think. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, because Cody, right, since he left WWE, right, he had thrived on the professional wrestling aspect side of things, not the sports entertainment side of things, right? He'd thrived in Ring of Honor, and he'd thrived in AEW. He thrived in AEW more than what he did Ring of Honor. Going back to when he was a part of the Bullet Club and Ring of Honor World Champion. But he thrived in AEW on the PG, on the older PG side of things. Is the Undertaker in your house? Intense purple. Like, no, it's my fish tank, funnily enough. So yeah, just fucking about with the lights. So yeah, spooky. Or I can turn it off. Hang on. Right. Hang on. Stay there. Hang on. So no, it's just my fish tank. I've got lights on my fish tank that I can fuck about with on this remote. So yeah, still going up. So yeah, now you see me. Now you don't. So yeah, I actually think it's quite cool, to be fair. I hope fish are not epileptic, as that would be pretty bad if they were. So yeah, Cody, I believe that whenever it is he does come back to WWE, right, whether it be in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, 18 months' time, whatever, right, whilst WWE are doing this PG-14 thing, right, I believe that this will be the best WWE version of Cody Rhodes that we will ever see. Right, back to when he first debuted in whatever year it actually was. Right, I believe this will help Cody, and don't get me wrong, a lot of other people, right, boost their momentum in the WWE. Right. Excuse me, again with Randy Orton, right? Randy Orton obviously came in the very early days of the Ruthless Aggression era, right? Back to when they were PG-14, right? Last time round, right? And this was obviously the peak of the WWE coming out of the Attitude Era, right? Randy Orton, again, very, very good wrestler back in the very early days of the Ruthless Aggression, going up from when he first debuted in 2002 to whenever the Ruthless Aggression era ended, like, well, when was it, 2008, or something, wasn't it? Yeah, so I think that the rest of the people that are in WWE then, that are still in WWE now, so Randy Orton's, Bobby Lashley's, MVP's, John Cena's, if he ever comes back, right, as a wrestler, right, anyone else, your Shelton Benjamins, right, I think that this will be a bit nostalgic to the guys now that are in the Ruthless Aggression era, right? The guys that are in WWE at the minute that were a part of the Ruthless Aggression. And this is purely because the Ruthless Aggression is what pretty much made a lot of big name and WWE talents. We need some Stone Colds and Rocks. Yeah, exactly, because you look at when Stone Cold was in... you look at when Stone Cold returned